Hi everyone, Leslie Ray here for a quick Digital Delights tutorial on Tutorial Tuesday. Today's tutorial, I'm going to show you a simple technique to color a digital stamp with chalk. And what you start with is a medium to dark kind of base, and you're going to add the chalk back on top of it to do your highlighting and your shading so that you can create a really neat effect and with just a minimal of coloring. So for today I'm going to use Tiny the Turkey digital stamp, some medium dark brown kind of colored cardstock, and a piece of color coordinating cardstock, because what I'm going to end up doing is sticking Tiny the Turkey on a little easy to make card easel so that he can be a place card setting. Some craft tea chalk or your favorite kind of chalk that you have in your stash, some scissors, glue, and raffia. And for a change, I'm going to start with the end. This is what he's going to end up looking like. And I also decided to add a Jelly Roll pen to him to kind of highlight his eyes a little better. But he is printed out on this color cardstock that is here in the background. And then the darks and the lights are layered, and just a little bit of color for his colored accents of his feet and his beak and his waddle make him be, cute. I love him. So let me show you really quick how easy this is to do. I start by getting a brown. This is a piece of basil, and it's just kind of a medium brown. Not too dark, not too light. And I print off Tiny the Turkey on this cardstock. And then I'm using my favorite old set of Craft Tea decorating chalks. I've had these forever. When you open them, you're going to laugh because, they're loved. And you can see some of my favorite colors are the white that I'm going to use and the browns and that kind of stuff. Let me show you how easy this is to color him. You can color with any number of tools. You can use the pom-pom on the clip. You can use a stump. I'm going to do some of my coloring with the stump. And you can use Q-tips. And I thought I would make it easy for those who are maybe new to chalk and are not familiar with all the different ways you can color with it, and have it where you can use what you have. And many people have Q-tips lying around at their house. So I'm going to start with a Q-tip, and I'm going to go in and I want to color his feet, and I want to color his beak with the orange. And I'm layering several oranges, but I'm going to start with my darkest orange and pick up some orange on my Q-tip and just go right on it. And if while I'm coloring I get out of line, that is okay. And there's two reasons that's going to be okay. One of them is that if I get too crazy, I can take a piece of kneaded eraser and go back in and erase where I don't like it. But the other thing is I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut him out, so if I go outside this line, that's okay. I'm cutting him out anyway. So keep that in mind. I'm going to keep my piece of kneaded eraser right here just in case I need it. Little wad. Looks like gum with sparkles. And then I'm going to go into a little bit lighter orange and start lightening up some spots on that. And I'll start with the inside of his feet and then his legs. And the inside of his feet here. So that the darker color is on the outside edges here, and the inside has a little bit lighter color, like that. And then do the same thing on his beak. Go in with the orange and get him here as well. everywhere I think Mr. Turkey should have a beak color. And his beak can have a little bit lighter color on it. It doesn't have to be as dark as the bottom of his feet. And really, it can be however dark you want it to be. It's your turkey. And I'm just cleaning up the edge here where I want to put other colors. So, and I want to go and layer on just a little more dark orange in his beak to kind of give him and use your chalks like you would any other kind of tool to shade and shadow. You know, remember your light is going to come forward, your dark is going to go back. And if you don't feel like you're getting enough dark to go back, adding black or gray and coming around the edge like we will in just a minute will help that a lot. So just a little bit there. Okay. And then the last thing I want to do color-wise before I start with my browns, grays, and whites and those kinds of things is get his wattle colored in. And his wattle for me is going to be this red. And he's got a little bit of wattle up here and up here. And again, just hit it a little bit with the eraser to kind of clean up around the edges of where I want it to. So right here where it kind of goes over into his feathers, I can do that real simply and clean that up. And there's his little feet. And this is just to show you how easy the kneaded eraser cleans. As we discussed, we're going to cut him out, so around his feet isn't so important. Now, the next thing I want to do is come back in with some dark and some light. And I'm going to keep using my Q-tip and kind of do a wiggle down the center of his feather. I'll show that again. Do a wiggle. And that's not coloring in the whole feather, it's just coloring in part of it, giving it just a little bit of emphasis. Nothing too drastic there. So now I've colored in on the feathers, and I want to go in around his neck here a little bit. Just kind of get some of this black chalk in here. And then I'm going to treat it like I do when I'm coloring with markers and Digi-Stamps. I'm going to put dark along the edges so that it's going to pop him out. Things that come forward will pop out. And then I want to put a little bit here around his hand, his feather, his wing, I guess. So that little bit is going to help him pop out. Now, just because I want some more detail, I'm going to pick up my stump and I'm going to start going in with some gray, really light gray, and even some white. So I'm going to take the gray chalk and right here along the edge is where his little belly is going to highlight right in there. And then kind of do the same thing around my feathers. He's going to have some highlights on that edge of his feather, and then on the little fingers of his wing feather. And then kind of let it kind of play out. So see, already we've started highlighting around his feather here, and around his belly here. I'm going to come back in with these pieces and put some highlights in. And you'll start to see how that definition of space between what lays on top and what lays on bottom starts building. And just keep remembering, light comes forward and dark goes back. So where his neck is, the light comes forward and the dark goes back. And I'm going to work on that a little more to kind of clean that up for you. So here. And if I can't get enough light with that gray, I'll bring in some white. And start working on some other places where the light comes forward and the dark goes back. And then kind of where his little now I want to go around the tips of his feathers with gray and white. So I'm going to start with laying down the gray. I like how this chalk attaches itself to the cardstock. And when you get him all cut out, you can then add a piece of raffia around his signpost or bow. In the signpost, you can either, as you print them out, either change everybody's name in there or put Happy Thanksgiving, or you can come back and print some sentiments and add them later. You don't have to add them right away. And or you could, put something silly. Save the turkey, eat ham. Just anything fun will look really super cute on these. Tally the Turkey is probably one of my favorite stamps. And Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. So this particular digital stamp has lots of visual layering in it, with his feathers and his head and his beak, and just lots of really cute things you can do with him. And coloring him like this with chalk is super easy and super fun, and has a really neat effect, I think. And see, this would work great with any of the stamps. Like if you were going to use the Augustus the Dragon, you could do him on green and then highlight him with chalk. You could do the ducks or the bees in yellow, and same thing. You know, come back in and highlight with the colors. So, but you can see where this is going. And you just keep adding on color to bring out some more highlight. I'll probably do some more shading in his belly, and then add like my Jelly Roll pen to his eye. And this is really the only pen that gets used here. And then he's ready to put some lacquer on his eyes. Treat his sign, just do a little edge around here and call it good. And so let me show you this one again. This is where I went in. I did my highlighting and my shadowing with my black and my white, and just colored in on his nose, his beak, and his feet, and his wattle. And now he's ready. And I haven't decided if I just want to put Happy Thanksgiving on these or if I want to put people's names. And this is just a simple little 1/8 of a square of a piece of 8.5 by 11. So it ended up being like 2 3/4 by 4.5. And I folded it and put my little piece of raffia, stuck Tiny the Turkey on there, and he is ready. So I hope you enjoy my quick and easy chalk coloring tutorial to use with dark and medium dark kind of colored cardstocks. It's a really simple way to color and highlight without having to color the whole animal, and gives pretty neat effect, I think. So thank you for your time, and you have a wonderful week.